Hey guys, I'm Chef Dean Max. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to do a super simple, healthy recipe. It's a take on a green papaya salad. So I know a lot of you have had Thai green papaya salad, but this is a little bit different, but it's going to be amazing. So stay with me. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you're not already doing that. And ring that bell and I'll send you new things I have coming up. So see you back in a second. All right, you guys. Today, simple recipe, green papaya salad. You can use this for so many different things. It's one of those items, it's a kind of a twist on an original. Original green papaya salad, you might just see the green papaya with some herbs and like the chilies and flavorings, different flavorings with it. A lot of times there's dried seafood in there, dried crab. There's all types of things that can be put into that for texture and for flavor. But today, I'm going to kind of make kind of an Americanized, simple version, basically with vegetables that you have in the summer. So green papaya salad, though, is one that you might have to look out for. So let's do this. Let's start by like taking all the vegetables and getting those taken care of. So this green papaya salad is you have to find the right green papaya for that. You don't want to get like you don't want to get a sweet papaya, one that's turning orange. You're looking for an actual Thai-style green papaya salad. Oops, these seeds are coming out. When you cut the bottom like that, you see that? How the seeds come popping out of there? But what I want to do is I want to peel this. So I'm going to take, and I cut the bottom and the top so it's sitting flat. And then I just cut it like this to get the outer skin, which is kind of waxy. I think they actually coat it when they take them out. They wash them and they put like a thin layer of wax on top sometimes to protect them in travel and keep the shelf life longer. So what you want to do is you want to cut all that off. So you don't want to eat this outer green skin of the papaya. So you see how it's all white and firm? Now this is really nice. I do this sometimes with green mango in the pre-season of mango season. We'll get a lot of mangoes that aren't ripe. So if you actually go to the store sometime and get mangoes and they're not ripe and you cut them and you're like, oh man, they're kind of greenish, then this is perfect for you to do with mango as well. You would just peel it the same way, and we're going to cut it the same way and treat it the same way that we treat this papaya. Okay, you could do this with mango. So with this, you cut it like this, right? So you cut once that skin's all off, you have this beautiful flesh of the papaya like that. Now there's a million ways you could do this. In Thailand, a lot of times they chop it like this, and then they chop it this way, and then they come back and they grate it, and they get these shards like this of the papaya. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but really easy way for you at home to do it is put it on a box grater and just grate it on the biggest grating on the box grater. Now I have a thing called a little beni, which is a Japanese mandolin. You can buy these online for like 25 bucks on Amazon. I can actually put a link on there for you. And I put in the medium julienne blade, right? And I like to use these just because they give the salad a really elegant look. Like this traditional salad in Thailand, they actually in a mortar and pestle, they kind of grind the papaya with all of the seasonings and juices. So it's definitely a more rustic dish. And this kind of gives it a more elegant feel. You could do this as a salad dish with a piece of fish on it, for a luncheon and for your friends, and it'd be really nice to do. So what I do is I put the blade in there, and I'm going to open it up just big enough so I can kind of julienne it like this. Now you can see, I'll do it on the cutting board. It's a little bit easier to do it like that. The great part, you don't really have to worry too much about your fingers because you have a lot of papaya here to like hold, right? So the worst is like when you're doing this with your carrots because those are small and you got to watch out for your fingers. So with this, I want to go a little bit, this is actually looking really good. So you can see, you see how nice the little strands they are? They're perfect, right? And that's what we want. So we want these beautiful, this beautiful green papaya. Now, if I was going to serve this immediately, sometimes I like this, I'll salt the papaya, put some salt on it, let it sit, let the water come out of it and soften for a little bit. You don't have to do that. Especially because we're going to marinate this for a little bit and with the ingredients and let it sit and let them blend together. So what we're going to do is I'm going to julienne the rest of this, and I'm going to show you the rest of this dish. So give me a second. Okay, so I'm got down to, like, you can see I'm starting to break into holes inside the seed cavity there, and that's when you gotten right to the end. So what I'll show you what that looks like. We'll cut it in half. So when we cut it in half, you can see, like, right? You see how basically I've shredded all around it, and inside is just the seeds of this. So we know we're done. So let's stick that to the side. So now that we've got this blade out, let's go ahead and do everything that we're going to do with this blade. Let's do it now, right? Makes sense, right? So with this, I've got carrots. So carrots are definitely going to be one that, carrots, because they're so small like this too, choose when you have your little bag of carrots there, pick out the biggest ones you can find, because you got to kind of shred it on here, and you want to watch out for your fingers, okay? If you're really scared about that with your fingers on this, it's very easy just to use a box grater and just grate the carrots. That's nice too. It actually puts a lot of carrot everywhere, which is kind of a nice piece. So with this, I don't worry about going completely, well, you can go completely flat like this, and but like I said, I always worry about my fingers with these types of blades, and you should at home too. So you could just do shorter versions like this. They don't have to be as long as the others, and also you can go a little bit smaller, like a thinner, I should say, of a piece, right? So what I end up with is this. You see how nice this looks? So we're going to do that with all this carrot. Okay, so we're down to like the last bit of the carrot. Like, don't worry about getting your fingers cut off trying to get the last bit. Use that for a snack for yourself, okay? Now, what we do is you get all this beautiful carrot now. You add that in here with your green papaya. Again, like I said, feel free to shred it. These julienners are so great, man. They're going to save you so much time worrying about cutting stuff. Next, I like to use cucumber. Now, these are beautiful little Persian cucumbers. You can see these here. I'm going to cut the ends of them off so we can get some like nice long ones. Like, I think 3 is good with this. So these are super simple. I'm going to go like on the outsides like this, and I'm not going to probably put the seed packet in there. So it really, it's like 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, and then turn it. 1, 2, 3. And what you end up with is nice flesh without like 1, 2, 3. Yep, you see how it starts to hit the seed packet there? So if you turn it around and you go 1, 2, 3 each time, you basically get the outer flesh of the cucumber, which is really beautiful and delicate and nice, and you leave the seed packet, which is kind of going to be more watery, for something else. You can still use it. I take like that center of the cucumber there and make like a cucumber vinaigrette. So take this cucumber, put it in a NutriBullet with a little bit of rice vinegar, Dijon mustard, a little olive oil, and blend it up, and you have a nice little cucumber vinaigrette that you can use. So with this now, you can see I've got beautiful julienne cucumber, and those look gorgeous, right? Yeah, they do. All right, so that was it really for the mandolin part. So we'll stick that to the side, okay? And we'll add in our other stuff. So I like to use green onion. So here's some beautiful green onions, right? They've already been cleaned. Make sure you wash green onions really well, okay? And I'm gonna cut the bottom parts of them in half, just so they're even smaller. So I just do it halfway through like this. You see how that works? Like this. Perfect. All right. Now, when I cut those, they'll be a little bit finer. Okay, and then we get up to the nice green leaves on the top. I do this because I don't like to add other onions in there. You could add, like if you had really nice shallots, you could add shallots in there too. But these are beautiful like this. So you can see like how nice these green onions are. I'm going to get all those pieces, try to scatter all over the board here. But we'll put those in to give nice onion flavor to this little salad. Such a healthy salad too. You know, it's all just greens. We're not even really putting a lot of fatty stuff in here. With this, I'm going to put cherry tomatoes. So with this, I could leave them whole if I wanted to, but I think putting like just cherry tomato halves in here is the way to go. So That way, a little bit of the water from the tomato will seep out into the dish. And you just take the cherry tomatoes. You can see how I'm just taking these like this and cutting them lengthwise. So it's exposing the seed pack. It makes them a little smaller and easier to eat, right? And they're going to marinate nice with this dish. So it makes for, these are beautiful, like summer cherry tomatoes too. You know, you've got Brandywine and these like beautiful golden cherry tomatoes, as well as these little tiny regular red grape ones. So like, let's see if what that looks like. Put as much as you like. Like, there's no recipe for this. I like to use, because it's green papaya salad, I like to use, you know, probably 50 to 60% green papaya, then like, you know, a quarter carrot, a quarter of the cucumber as those pieces, and then the other ones for flavoring. This one bunch of green onions. It was like a pint of tomato. You know, I'm going to put all that I have here because it's, you know, this is a pint, and you know, everybody loves tomatoes, right? So you can't really go wrong with that. Well, I should say everybody. Actually, some people are weird about the texture of a fresh tomato, right? You ever meet those people? There's something wrong with them. I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with them. But tomato is one of those ones that some people just have a weird textural thing with. They can have it pureed up, but they cannot have it like this. So anyway, now I have some green beans that I had left over from dinner. They haven't been cooked. They've been just blanched. So it's a regular green bean. You can use a frozen if you have the frozen ones in the pack, and they're already kind of blanched anyway, and then frozen. They're ready to eat almost. So you can always just put those in if you want. I had them, so I put them in. If you were going to use frozen, I'd probably just say skip it. You know, you don't need it. I have a red bell pepper here. On the red bell pepper, I want to cut the walls like this into cut-sized pieces like this, and then I cut the bottom like this. Now, what I do is you see this big white pith? I want to take that out. So I lay my knife flat with pressure, and then I slice it back and forth like this, right? See? And it takes this kind of watery, pithy bit of the pepper out that doesn't taste as good as that beautiful flesh wall there. So again, press it flat like this with pressure, and then saw it back and forth like that, you know, and then you get these pieces. And then let me show you again, like this. See? Okay. So really, really easy to do. It doesn't take a ton of knife skill to be able to do that. Now the next one does take a little bit of knife skill, but you know, you cut these however you want. If you wanted to dice these up and put them in here, dice them up and put them in here. I like the flavor of the bell pepper in here. It's maybe not a traditional item, but it's great. So, especially in the summer. So I just take these and I just julienne them like this, which is long, thin. You see how I'm doing these long, thin strips with my knife like this? Super simple. Use your forefingers to kind of guide your knife back, and then, you know, always kind of rocking it through. You gotta have sharp knives, okay? You guys should probably make sure that you have really good knives at home to cook with. If you're spending time cooking, then do yourself a favor and make sure you have good equipment. Good sharp knives is key. So again, keep those fingers under. You don't want to put fingertip in this. Never tried fingertip in a green papaya salad, but it's probably not very good. Once we're done with this, we're going to add this in as well. We got a lot of beautiful vegetables in here now, right? We do. Okay. Now, I want to still add a little bit. I have some cabbage. I like to put cabbage in here sometimes. So you can use Napa cabbage, Savoy cabbage, green cabbage. So I don't like to put a lot. I'm just going to take this and I put like a nice little chunk of cabbage in here. And I want to cut this paper thin. And like, you see how thin this is? And it just gives nice texture to this salad. Okay. And then I cut it back this way. Okay, and that's it. You see how beautiful this is? And again, this isn't a cabbage salad, so we're not going to put a ton. We're going to put maybe that piece there, and then I'll do this piece too. I like to cut off these ribbons. If you have any like big ribbons like this are sitting there, I don't like those much. I like the really fine part of the heart of the cabbage. So use the cabbage for something else. This a lot of times I would have if I had cabbage in the fridge, I would use this. But if you don't have cabbage in your kitchen right now, don't worry about. You don't have to get it. It's fine. Or if you have a really nice Napa cabbage, you could put a lot of Napa cabbage. People love Napa cabbage. Now, with this, we're looking like we're almost done. Now it just needs to be marinated, okay? The only thing we're gonna finish it with is our herbs. So we've got some cilantro here, or it's actually almost a whole bunch of cilantro and a bunch of mint. And I haven't chopped those leaves or anything, and I don't. They're just, the stems have been picked. So it's just the leaves like this, and you can see the leaves like this. And what I wanna do is just toss those in whole leaf. So you're eating this beautiful flavor. If you have Thai basil and you can get Thai basil, put Thai basil in there as well. Would be a great accoutrement, okay? And very traditional. So the beauty of this dressing, as I make it a little different, is most Thai papaya salad, green papaya salad recipes, they would use a mortar and pestle, and they would either grind or mince up and marinate their chilies, their garlic, all of that stuff. I think the easiest way to do this at home is if you have a NutriBullet, take some chilies and try to find some Thai chilies if you can. You can get these in the grocery store. What happens is you get them, when you get them in that little pack, there's a bunch, right? And you're like, what the hell am I going to do with those, right? Excuse me. But you know, you got 2 of these, going to be super spicy, right? So you're like, what am I going to do with the rest? So what you do is put them in the freezer, and then you can just pull them out like this and use them when you go. So if you have an Asian market buy, you go buy a little bag of the Thai chilies, use it however many you can use that day, and then put the rest in the freezer. And you can use them. You can make chili sauce for yourself. I'll have a recipe up here soon making chili sauce. So I put 2 red ones and 1 green one. I'm going to do that. Now, you know what? I'm going to make it a little spicy. So I'm going to put 4. Okay. Now, this I like tamarind in this dressing. Tamarind is something you guys are probably like, oh, I've heard of tamarind, but I'm not quite sure what it is. It's actually the seed pod. There's a big seed that grows in a tree, and the center of that seed is very moist. And this is actually the seed pod itself right here. It's been pulled out, you can see, but it's like, see how it's sticky and tacky? I can press it, it's a paste, and that paste has a seed in it. And that's where the seed kind of grows and lives until it falls and you know, maybe, I don't know why the paste is on there. I'm not that heavy duty of a horticulturist that I could tell you that. I would imagine too, because animals probably eat that because it tastes good, and then they go and they poop the seed out somewhere else, and it kind of spreads the seeds in the plants different places. But it's sweet and it's sour, which is a great combination. Lemony. I used to have a tree by my house, and I would drive by on my bike and grab a couple out of the tree and just right from the tree eat it. And then you spit the seeds out, right? But you can buy it in the grocery store. In the dry section, it'll come in a packet like this that says tamarind, right? And once you open it, you can just put it in a mason jar and put it in the fridge if you want. I don't even know if it needs to be refrigerated, to be honest with you. But I'd put it in the fridge just to be safe. But what you do is I took out a chunk of that, probably like just a little 2 ounce cut or 2 tablespoon cut. You can see it here. And I poured boiling hot water on it. Now this one says without seeds. Some of them do have the seed packet in there. You can also buy it already kind of cooked and pureed in a thing where it says tamarind sauce or whatever, or juice. You can buy that as well. I like to buy this because this is the actual, all the parts of it except for the seed. And then I soften it with this hot boiling water. And once it cools down like it did here, I'm just going to stick that with the pulp and the water right here in my dressing. And that's probably all I'll need right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to add lime juice to that. So these beautiful summer limes. I'm going to put 2 small ones in. You don't need a lot of lime because, you know, the tamarind is actually already acidic. So it already has a sweet and sour feel to it. But we're still going to add citrus like this, and we're still going to probably add a little sugar. And what that sugar will do, it'll help balance the spice of the chili. So here you can see I'm just taking my lime, putting my lime in. It's going to give us a nice acidity, and that's what this salad needs, is acidity. Okay? I'm going to take 1 garlic clove, and I'm just going to trim the kind of root of that off. And you see that here? I'm just going to put it in whole. It's going to get pureed. But then I've got this piece of ginger. So with ginger, to peel it, you just use a spoon. You see this? I'm just taking a spoon and I'm peeling it like this. This is a really, nice dressing. It's good flavors with natural ingredients. I love, that's what cooking's all about. It's like use natural stuff that grows. This is a root. The other one's a seed. It's like that's what we should be eating, not all this processed junk, right? So I'm glad that you guys are here, paying attention, and wanting to learn how to cook because it's good for your health. Invest in your body, invest in your mind. Okay. So with this, I'm putting about 1 inch of ginger in here. I'm going aggressive with the ginger. I like a lot of ginger in there. Okay. And then with that, I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm just doing a touch of rice wine vinegar. It doesn't, like I said, we don't need a lot of acidity, and I want to taste it before we figure that out. It needs some salt. So I'm going to add soy sauce. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon right now. Okay. That's about a tablespoon. And these measurements are to your taste. So you need salt, right? If you don't have soy sauce, put a little salt. It's fine. I'm using fish sauce too. And so with fish sauce, it gives you this kind of umami of this beautiful fish flavor. Now in a real Thai salad, they might put dried shrimp in there. Sometimes they put beef jerky in there. They make their own kind of dried beef that they put and they shred. Sometimes what we do in my restaurants is we have kind of the tuna, when we cut the tuna and we have all of the cuts of that, we have like extra pieces of meat. We actually dehydrate and dry it in a dehydrator, and then we flake that and we put those flakes on there, the tuna flakes. It's kind of nice. So anyway, you've got all of these ingredients in there. Your acidity, your sweetness, your spiciness, your earthiness, right? I'm gonna put a touch of coconut sugar. I'll use this ginger spoon in here to get it out. Probably just a teaspoon. I don't want to put a lot. I can always add more. So that's the big thing. When you do these kind of things, add a little to start and then add more later. So let me go ahead and blend this up and we'll see what it tastes like. I want to try this now. That's good. It's a little spicy. It's definitely spicy, which is great. But what we want to do at this point, put a little water. I want to thin it out just a touch, but I don't want to add any acidity. It's already acidic enough. What it needs is a little sugar, a little more sugar, and a little more salt. The sugar, I'm going to probably put another, no, I need more than that. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon more sugar. So it's going to be 2 tablespoons of sugar in this, okay? I'm using coconut sugar. You could use raw sugar. If you don't have that, use white sugar is fine. Okay? It needs salt. So we're going to add soy. And then we're going to add some fish sauce. Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever done that on camera? Drop the, I'm making a mess right now. All right. So I'm going to add another tablespoon and another tablespoon of that. So you're saying to yourself, Chef, what are these ingredients, right? You're not showing us how many ingredients. It's not imperative, right? You're seeing the ingredients, basically how much I'm putting in there. Tablespoon, teaspoon, doesn't matter because you need to taste it, right? You need to taste this and you need to say, I like that saltiness, or it's not salty enough. This is where you become a chef. This is where you become your own chef at home and you learn how to do all of these things, which is balancing flavor. And that's what it's all about. Now, I just needed to mix that basically. Now, you heard that little tap of like the seed in there? There might be like, sometimes when they have that no seeds in there, they miss one. But that's okay. You just want to make sure you don't put it in there. So I'm going to have to strain this real quick. Now, that's delicious. What you can see is now I have this kind of pulpy sauce. And the beautiful thing, there's no oil even in this, right? So let me get a strainer so we can strain this over this, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so the strainer I'm going to put on top here like this, and I just dump that in. You see? Let me put this here. If you have a little hand, you need a little hand strainer. If you don't have one of these in your kitchen, you need to get one. Okay? Go online, click order. It'll be there in one day, right? Beauty of modern life. So with this, yeah, we're just going to keep kind of scraping it through here till we get all of this in. But then after we're done with this, I'm going to massage this with this paste and this juice and let this sit with our salad for probably like at least an hour before we eat it. Now, the beauty is this, you can make this an hour before you eat it, and then I would put the herbs in it right before you're ready to go, and then I'll show you what this is going to look like. So let me go ahead and get all this strained in there. Okay, you guys, I washed my hands really quick, and I wanted to do that because I want to mix this with my hands. It's like, I think it's just nice to like get your fingers in there and get this, all these vegetables and stuff mixed together, get this dish going like this. So what I want to do on this is make sure that I get that dressing throughout. And like I said, in Thailand they actually muddle the green papaya in the mortar and pestle with the spices just to really get it in there. So it's fine to get it in there. Now what I do like about letting this sit for a little while before you serve it is all the salt that's in your fish sauce and that's in your soy sauce are gonna like really break down the vegetables, because the vegetables, once they have a little salt on there, they start to leak out all their liquid. The tomatoes are going to leak out liquid. The green papaya is going to leak out liquid, all the vegetables. So what they're going to do is meld those juices together, and those juices are going to, you know, they'll be really nice in this. So if you want to do that, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. At this point, I put all my herbs in, right? You can, you know, you can put them in now, you can put them in later. If you put them in later, they're gonna look super fresh in there, like right before you serve it. But it's not imperative. They're still gonna be green. They're not gonna turn brown or anything. So you're still good. You know, you can see how we just fold this in gently with our hands and just moving it around. And you do kind of, I guess not gently actually, you wanna like kind of work it in here a little bit. And you end up with this beautiful, beautiful green papaya salad that is, look at this, all these beautiful veg on there, okay? And then I'm gonna take a bowl right here and I'm gonna try a little bit of this now because I can't wait, right? I'm gonna take a little bit of this now and I'm gonna put it right here, okay? I've got my mint, like I said, you can have basil on there. Cilantro, big leaves too, you know, that salad's a part of the dish, right? Okay, and I'm gonna eat this right now like that. And then let me show you how to finish that really quick. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so here I am with this finished dish. You can see I've got beautiful green papaya salad here, the mint, everything. Now what I did was I took some peanuts. These are just roasted peanuts. You could use already roasted if you want. I like to get raw peanuts, keep them in a jar at home, and then when you need them, just toast them in a pan, or you can roast small batches at a time. It keeps it super fresh. The flavor like that's amazing. You put fresh salt in there, and that's what these have been. I like toasted these in a pan, chopped them, have some seasoned salt on there, and then I'm just gonna put those on. They're gonna add a beautiful flavor, nice crunch. If you're allergic to peanuts and you wanna do, or you have a friend who is, you can do almonds, it's fine. Another great one is this fried red onions. So these are like a red shallot almost that are fried and you buy them, they're already crispy like this. You see they're like shards. I love these as a condiment. Well, you can make your own. You can get shallots, slice them and fry them in oil. It's fine, but these are just easy to have around. And so I always have those as a condiment. So they're really nice condiment, get like a nice crunchy feel to this dish. So you've got basically crunchy from that, crunchy from the peanuts. The vegetables are gonna have their own crunch. And then you mix this up in here. You have that tamarind dressing, super healthy. That's beautiful. The flavor already is dynamic. It's got all of these really healthy vegetables in it working together, gives you good balance and crunch. When this sits for like an hour, it's gonna be even better. So I would say let it sit first for like an hour and let the juices, as these marinate, come out, and it's gonna be a fantastic dish. So with this, you can put this a piece of fish, anything you like, works really great. It's an awesome, simple dish to make at home. So I hope you guys try it, and I hope you like the video. So give me a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you back in my kitchen soon. I'm Chef D Max.